So the question is, at this stage, we're starting to look at, or we should be looking at, how do you lower costs? How do you lower the cost of things? Okay? Not just say, lower costs and you'll make more money. Well, what costs do you lower? How do you lower these costs? All right? Let me pass this around. This was in a paper today regarding Solar City here in Buffalo. Okay? What they're going to do here, or what they're trying to do here, they got a big lithium plant in Nevada, the cars. Elon Musk owns Tesla, and basically he now owns Solar City. Okay, if he gets approved. What he wants to do is basically, or what he'd like to do, is produce these panels that go on a house. I have solar panels in my house. You know my electric bills a month? $17, $18.36, yeah. That's my cost for every month. And I use air conditioning, everything. I use solar panels. Okay? I have the solar panels put on my house. And I have a big house.
I mean, our solar panels expensive.
The cost for the solar panels was $42,000. Okay.
How many years who wouldn't have his name in this guy?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Well, the reason, I'll be honest with you, the reason I got solar panels in my house, because the company that installs the solar panels, I'm their accountant. So of course I can do that. All right?
They have incentives though, so we're
Yeah, there's 18, what I really ended up paying was $6,000 for that.
yeah, we're getting like
Because I got I paid $18,000 for it, if I get $18,000 in tax credits, yeah, I paid the government or paid for them. That's how much in tax I would have to pay. Okay. Or, and the $6,000 was the additional little portion above it. I would tell, if you ask me, should you put solar panels on your house at that cost, I would say no. It takes you 2 months to recover back. I'm the accountant for them, so I get different deals, obviously. Okay? But the panels are made, mostly are made in China or Canada. Okay? What he wants to do is take this plant in here in Buffalo, Solar City, that used to be the old Republic Steel plant, and make the panels here for everything that they sell in the United States and outside the United States. In essence, he's trying to say, even though China could be more cost-effective labor-wise, if we turn around and we turn around and make this more like an assembly line factory where machines making these panels, we can make them cheaper here than we can do in China, even though their labor is cheaper. Because now we have the assembly, the initial cost of the assembly line to produce. And that's what he's trying to do here. And then he wants to use that same technology on the roofs of his Tesla cars, so the cars constantly get the sun and generate even more into the housing. Okay? In chapter 6, you know what a kayak is, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Chapter 6, you're going to see an article on a kayak. Where are all the kayaks made that you could buy? Where do you think they're made? North Tonawanda. North Tonawanda. They're all made in North Tonawanda. Everywhere throughout the United States. Why don't they make them in China? The labor's cheaper. Shipping. It's too costly to ship it. You ever see a kayak? They're clumsy. They're bulky. The shipping to bring them from China to the U.S., it's cheaper to make them, even though our labor prices are higher here, to make them here than to make them there at a cheaper price, but then the cost of the shipping to bring them here. So that's why they're made here. Okay? And then you'll see that, like I said, in this article in chapter 6, they show you here. They even tell you where the name of the company is and where it is. And the reason I found this in a Buffalo News a couple of years ago, the reason I like using this example in chapter 6 is because we do a problem in 611 using kayaks. Okay? So I try to relate it. You know. But That's the article that I just passed out to you, and I try to emphasize, at least underline, what he's looking to do. He's looking to lower his costs through automation. Okay? He's not trying to lower his costs through wages. Okay? And you know what? A lot of these things sometimes are just so simple. How do you lower the cost of your house, in your house, the lighting? You shut the light off. If you got air conditioning, you shut the door. The heat, you shut the doors. You don't open the window and put your heat on in the wintertime. Okay? So therefore, you're constantly lowering your cost of your expenditures for your heat, your lights. And some of these items are so simple and so realistic that you're doing it every day of your life. What you really want to do is try to pinpoint, as you're going to see this more in chapter 6. Chapter 6 is really an accumulation of all the chapters, of how they break down the cost and how they allocate the cost to different departments. And so if everybody here works in my factory, and everybody here is a manager, how do I break down the cost per unit for the unit you're working in, for the department you're working in, for the department you're working in, for the department you're working in, to see who's an efficient manager? Is he more efficient than him? Is she more efficient than them? She should be rewarded if she's more efficient than them. Not everybody just get the same pay rate or pay same pay rates. Does this make sense? That's what chapter 6 does. It's how to take those costs and allocate them to different departments. Make sense? Everybody with me? Everybody have one of those that article? I'm not going to read it to you. I just gave it to you, and I try to highlight it. Chapter 5. The sheets that I passed out to you. Review sheet. You see where it starts with variable cost to break even, and I have all the pages listed there? That's what I went over.